Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the meeting of the Rutherford County Benefits and Insurance Committee. And I believe you have a copy of the minutes of the last meeting. Do I have a motion concerning those minutes? Both Mary and Mr. Smith. We have a motion and a second. Did anyone have any corrections or additions to those minutes? If not, then all those in favor of that, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Who seconded that? Commissioner Jordan, did he second that?
Oh, Commissioner. Oh, okay, whatever.
Who was the second?
Well, the second was Mr. Smith, was one of them.
Mr.
Sellers, Mr. Sellers, not Mr. Smith. Okay, sorry about that. We have a new member of the Insurance Committee, and we can. She's probably not new to most all of you people. She's probably been around longer than most of us with respect to insurance. But we're happy to have Susan Boney join this group. She's had many, many years of experience, and I don't know how many, but a lot, right, Susan, in our insurance. So she's going to bring a wealth of experience and knowledge that will be of great benefit to this committee, so we're glad to have you aboard. Thank you very much. Let's see. You're going to then give us a report on the financial condition, is right, Melissa?
Yes, sir, from the month of December. If you refer to your Fund 264 reporting there in front of you, we'll go over the medical information first. The per employee per member for medical and dental for December is at $584.62. This is compared to $696.44 for same period during prior year. The average per employee per month is $658.52. That's going to be compared to $686.70 for prior year. When you look at the plan performance in conjunction with the Care Here experience, through December, the total per employee per month was at $613.99. And that's compared to $645.20. The year-to-date averages were at $685.47 compared to the year-end average of $718.92. So we still have a negative trend continuing throughout this fiscal year, which is what we always like to see. Are there any questions regarding the medical before we move forward? Okay. If you're moved to the on-the-job injury document there in front of you, regarding the OJI program, the year-to-date costs totaled $469,956.79. That's compared to $532,266.30 for prior year. The year-to-date totals represent 88% of last year's costs for the same period. Payments were significantly higher in the month of December at $219,512 compared to prior months, where the average payment ranged from $37,000 to $60,000. The payments reported, they don't only reflect the medical bill costs, but also the settlements under our workers' comp claims that are still ongoing. We have 23 currently that are still outstanding workers' comp claims that obviously occurred prior to the adoption of on-the-job injury. In December, we were able to settle 3 suits that stemmed all the way back to a date of loss in 2007. We also had 1 large medical bill in December. If you would remove the settlement cost and the large medical bill, OJI would have reported at $31,010 for the month of December, which would have made it more in line with what we had seen in prior months. Are there any questions regarding that information?
Any questions on the financials of the health fund or the OJI workers' comp? Again, a continuing good report. Thank you very much. Okay, wellness update. Are we ready for that, I believe?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hi, how are you? Based on interest, we repeated the couponing series that we offered last quarter. Under our financial wellness, we have done the intro and advanced couponing class. at the Board of Ed this month. We had 48 people in attendance to the intro class and 65 to the advanced class. So couponing, as you know, builds income and lowers your financial stress. Weight management, our Weight Watchers group kicked off on Tuesday this week with 17 people. Care Here's also kicked off on the same day with 11 people in the insurance conference room for people that want to attend the program after work, and the Weight Watchers meeting is at lunch, at work. Upcoming Care Here webinars include heart healthy nutrition, what's key to a healthy heart, progressive relaxation, and self-nurturing. These webinars are available at various times online on each Tuesday, and you can access them at your convenience. Upcoming events for February. February 4th is Wear Red Day for the American Heart Association. Financial wellness topic is building a better budget at Lane Agri Park on the 8th. We have got a full class of 40 people to attend that event. The next Care Here on-site clinic is at Eagleville School on February 9th from 7 to 9 a.m. The stress management section is a cause for wellness at Warm Springs Wellness. They're offering a charity event. You can buy a ticket in advance for $25 and participate in 10 therapeutic wellness packages that they have available. And CPR training will be February 24th at the SORT building, and it's a friends and family course. There's not a certification, but this class is free to all county employees.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, do you have any questions of Kelly? And who teaches our this financial wellness class? Who's
Ann Haney taught our couponing class, and Natalie Hughes from Ascend Credit Union is going to teach the budgeting class.
Okay, good. And who's teaching our CPR class?
The EMS department. Our
EMS, they're going to handle that. Okay. Well, that sounds good. We're making good progress there, aren't we?
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, workers' comp and OJI stats, Mr. Dan Good.
Good afternoon. For the month of December, we had a total of 16 injuries requiring medical attention. You'll see from your report the breakout there. The year-to-date total reflects the total from January to the end of December for the year 2010, and that is what we normally report for our OSHA year. We've had a total of 210 for injuries for the year, and again, you can see the breakout there. The total recordable, 141. We had 54 with restricted days, 32 with lost time days, and 55 reporting for all others. On the next page, you can see the graphic depiction for the last 3 years, the year we just finished and the 2 previous years, 2008 and 2009. For the month of December, the total 16 claims we had, there was net incurred dollars for those claims of $28,600. The breakdown for the Board of Education was 10 claims, which was a little over $24,000. And the County General had 6 claims that totaled a little over $4,000. The last page, if you look at that, I went ahead and put together a comparison for the last 4 years. 2007 and 2008 are workers' comp years that we're still working out. As you can see, the numbers for the Board of Education, the County General, Highway, and then also the grand total for each of those years. 2009 and 2010 are the 2 years that we've just completed under the OJI program, and see the results of that. You'll notice from in 2010 we had 210 injuries, while last year we had 243. That's basically a reduction of a little over 13%. I'd like to credit that to several things. One being increased safety training we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of safety training, getting out to the Board of Education and to the County General. In addition to that, we've also brought in our Safety Recognition Award. We've been giving that out to the county, 1 per quarter, and we just this last week or so had nominations and awards to the Board of Education. So we're reaching into the Board of Education, and Board of Education will have 2 safety awards, one in the fall and one in the spring each year. So we're hoping to increase awareness for safety with the Board of Education starting next year and on. Hopefully we can then again increase the recognition and drive these numbers down. We feel that one of the biggest things we can do for safety is that increased recognition. With that awareness, people become more aware of their environment and what's happening, and again, we'll continue to drive those numbers down. That's all I have right now. Any questions? Or?
Anyone have any questions of Mr. Good? I mean, you can note that the number of employees continues to go up, but the number of claims is going down and the cost is going down. So what else could you ask for? I mean, that's better in every respect, and we appreciate all the good work that everybody in every department has done.
I would like to thank everybody here also and all the department heads. You know, this is not something that myself or Tim Street or even the insurance department does. It takes everyone here in the county in order to continue this push.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, we'd like to call on Ms. Stinson to talk about a change in the Cigna plan definition, I believe. So you can lead us through this discussion.
I'd be glad to. There's a couple of different documents in front of you. One is a spreadsheet that looks like this that will give you a comparison between the current Rutherford County plan document and the plan document developed by Cigna. For those of you all that have been here for a while, you probably remember books that look like this. These books used to be developed by the third-party administrator that was prior to Cigna. And there's a compliance person at that TPA that would do that service for the county, and as a result, they updated anytime there was a federal a change in the law or there was a resolution passed, they would update that document and they would distribute it annually. When we went to Cigna, for reasons that I'm not aware of, we took on the responsibility of the development of our plan document. And we lost a couple of things in doing that. One is we lost part of our service that we're paying for with Cigna through our ASO fee. Cigna employs attorneys and compliance folks in their office. That's their job, is to maintain the integrity of these documents across the board to ensure that they are compliant documents and they are updated as regularly as possible. The other thing that I've noticed since I started with the county in June is that there's some information that is absent from our current plan document. Aesthetically, there's some challenges with it. The way it's been developed is a little bit unorthodox in terms of how things are laid out. And for an example of that, I've given you a copy of just the table of contents on the Rutherford County plan as it stands today and on the Cigna plan. And you can tell just in a quick review that the Cigna plan appears to be more simpler to read and to identify information inside of it. Whenever we went to Cigna, we gave them that book that I showed you earlier, and that's what they built their claim system off of, was our benefits as they were at that particular point in time. And there's information in that booklet, and that's inside of the system at Cigna that's not clearly defined in the current summary plan document that Rutherford County has. In the absence of that clear definition, Cigna will default back to the information that was included in that booklet, which is the right thing to do because that is the plan that Rutherford County has. What I'm hoping to achieve today is just to bring forward a motion where we adopt the Cigna plan as our Rutherford County plan. We won't lose any benefits and we won't increase any benefits in doing that. What we will do is we'll have the availability of an additional service from Cigna in terms of the legal and compliance expertise, which will become very important to us as healthcare reform continues to play out. An example of that is one of the things under healthcare reform is that you have to have a summary of your plan attached to your plan document, and we currently do not have that. Not only do you have to have that document, but it's going to be very specific in terms of what it must entail, the formatting of the document, et cetera. And we will be able to piggyback off of Cigna in ensuring that their legal and compliance folks have read the law, understood it, and they've designed that form to meet the compliance requirement. The only exception to what I said earlier about the change is that we currently have 2 individuals that are benefiting from the Rutherford County plan because an exclusion on the plan was inappropriately placed in the wrong section. Eternal feedings, which are tube feedings, for lack of a better word, they are caloric supplements. The food that you use for them are bought over the counter. They are used in instances where people cannot orally consume enough food in order to have their daily intake be what it needs to be. So it is a supplement people like myself may use Boost or other products like that to get our caloric intake up. But some people have to have these type of feedings once a day in order to get their caloric values where they need to be. And generally, those are excluded feedings, not just here at Rutherford County, but in a lot of other public and private sectors. Those are not covered services. When the Rutherford County plan was designed, the exclusion for that was not put under general exclusions. It was put under hospice for some reason. And so there are 2 individuals right now that are benefiting from that clerical error, and it costs the county about $400 a month for that supplement. What I would suggest is if you all make the acceptance of the motion to adopt the plan, is that we grandfather those 2 folks in, and that we continue to allow their claims to process for the period of time that they need that supplement for caloric values. And if there is a time that that claim stops and another claim would ever begin, that new claim would fall to the requirements of the plan, as would any new claims that present. So my goal in doing this is just to achieve greater clarification for our employees, a document that's easier to read and understand, and then to also maximize our ASO arrangement with Cigna, and to add an additional resource to us through their legal and compliance department.
Okay, I'm sure they're going to have questions. You've basically just given us a copy of our plan's table of contents, plus a copy of the table of contents of Cigna's plan.
Correct.
Correct. So this is a substantial document that both of us have. And is it true, except for this one exception you're talking about here, is it true that we're really not changing what the plan contains as far as our employees are able to access and participate in this whole process?
Correct, that is correct. What will happen though, and you can see it demonstrated on the spreadsheet, is whereas employees may not be certain when they look at our plan document today what a certain coverage level may be, the Cigna plan document defines almost every scenario. So someone that is looking for certain services like lab and x-ray or second surgical opinion, things of that nature, would be able to go directly to the document and determine what the benefit level is. Right now, they're more inclined to actually have to call Cigna to find out what the plan will pay. And the problem there is that what Cigna will tell them, they can't go back necessarily to our document and see that information because our document doesn't cover everything that the county actually provides.
Okay, now I know some of you are working with these documents every day or getting questions every day, so what questions do you have here? She's wanting to adopt this to give us more clarity and more flexibility and more consistency and more support from their staff to being sure that we have everything covered in a plan document that is required legally and otherwise, I suppose, right? Is that Ms. Stevenson?
Will the employees begin to receive the booklet again because of this change?
The booklet would be, we would send out a notice to all employees that the booklet has been updated, and we would make the booklet available online just like it is today.
And Ms. Barnes?
Are there any distinctions in this plan between Rutherford County Board of Ed employees and Rutherford County general employees?
No, and in our current plan document, we don't make any distinctions between the two subgroups
So
either.
everything serves all.
That's right.
Thank you.
And Mr. Hester, you were wanting to say something with that mic, I believe.
Okay. I assume that you have gone through the plan.
Yes, sir. The spreadsheet that I've given you here, this is actually a document that was worked between Cigna and myself and others in our department to do a section by section study as to what the impact would be, and that's how we were able to determine about that one exception I referenced.
Okay, so the attorneys for Cigna or who keep the form, the plan compliant, they've gone through everything and they agree that all the coverages are covered?
Cigna had a task force actually that compiled those individuals, the claims manager, the account manager, et cetera, and as a team they went through it together and determined that the difference between what they see in their document versus ours. And most often it was just further explanation of information is what they found. There was no discrepancies in terms of the coverage types and availability.
Okay, but an attorney representing the county basically has not gone through it?
No, they have not.
Is that needed?
I would venture to say that it is not, because the origination of the Cigna document came from this, which has been around for a very long time. It would have, I assume at that time, gone through the attorney's office whenever it was developed.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? Do you understand about those two individuals that are now currently covered for this supplemental feeding process, that she is suggesting that if we do adopt the Cigna as our plan document, that they would continue to receive those services and be grandfathered? Any future people needing that service would not receive that supplemental feeding process. Mrs. Hickerson.
Yes, sir. What I was wanting to do is just really to make people aware, because I asked the question of why did they not match, and what Cigna's document is ours. What we're wanting to fix, my understanding, is what people see if they come to the internet site for Rutherford County and pull up health insurance, medical benefits, and sees the plan document there. That's the only thing that's getting fixed, is just what I guess the public sees. Because what Cigna has is our true plan document, and has always been our plan document, and is the document that come from Beeler, which come from Blue Cross, with all of our little exceptions included. So really, you're wanting us to update what the public, employees and otherwise, sees on the computer. It's really not changing anything except for making the exception when we make it effective.
Ms. Hickerson has a way of really getting to the bottom of these things, doesn't she? Okay. Anybody else have any comments here or questions? Not seeing any more discussion, does anyone wish to make a motion that we adopt this Cigna plan as our document that we use, with the two exceptions being made for those individuals that are receiving these supplemental feedings? Mrs. Barnes, and a second from Mr. Hester. Now more discussion. Okay, then you're ready to vote. Everyone in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, very good, thank you. Now, is there any other business? Mrs. Stinson.
No, sir, I think that covers everything for today.
Well, these meetings are getting briefer and briefer. Do we have anything coming up in the short term, Mrs. Stinson, as far as any renewals or things that this group will have to be addressing anytime soon, or are we okay for a while?
We recently just put our on-site clinics out to bid, so within a couple of months we'll be putting those finalists out for consideration to the committee. We have nothing pressing at this particular point.
Okay. Anyone else want to bring up anything? Well, that's an excellent report and a very brief. Mr. Sandvig.
Will the Cigna document list our retiree changes that we have made?
It will. Any resolution that's occurred has been provided to Cigna, and it will capture that information.
Okay, if there's no other business, then we appreciate your participation and thank you very much, and the meeting is adjourned.